What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Minecraft Let's Play with Brian and Greg. That's Brian.
I'm Greg.
No! That's not right at all! No! Every day for 15 minutes, Brian and I play Minecraft. We are not experts. We are noobs. I don't. What's the next step from noobs?
Nubs.
We've played enough where we've leveled up as noobs. We're not still the noob we were.
So like, all right. So if this was like in karate language,
yeah,
we would not be the first belt. We would be
okay.
We would be like the third one in.
We're like yellow belts, right?
Now I'm gonna confess to you.
You have no idea.
Before I started this karate metaphor,
yeah,
I paused because I don't know.
You knew as soon as it came out of your mouth, I'm in over my head.
Yeah, that's it. So I basically could have just said we're not at level 1, but we're at level 3, but instead I had to make a karate reference. I do not know what color you start with or what color you get in the middle. In fact, I don't even know what color you end with anymore, because apparently black belt used to be awesome. Yeah. But I don't think it's not that good.
They haven't gone away with the black belt. But you're saying there's like a purple or double belt or black belt with a stripe or some crap.
Yeah, that's the thing. You get like buckles and stripes, and then I think eventually you just get like a cool sword, so then you don't have to do karate anymore. Because it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, why would you like kick somebody when you have a sword?
It's true.
This is a weird cave.
Yeah, we found a new cave. We found last time we were playing. I showed Brian Del Boca Vista right here. A user made this when he joined our game, and then we kicked him out of the game. But we didn't know he started this, so it sat here for months probably. And we finally discovered it. And now we're here. We ran out of coal at our other mine. Oof.
Ooh, good catch.
So we moved over here, and I'm starting fresh. I made a ladder so I don't make a horrible twisted mess of trying to get to where we're going. And now we're tunneling in, but I still need more coal. I need coal, period.
I know. We need this is a problem.
I need to break Minecraft. I need to break Notch. Again, I still think our game's haunted because we killed those monks, and that's why the bad things happen to us.
If Notch is watching, I hope he sends some coal to us.
Just real quick, make one of these blocks of coal. It's easy. You just do it.
But I told you can burn other stuff, right? Like we can burn some old wood and stuff.
But it doesn't go as well. But I mean, like right now I need okay, I remember what you said.
Yeah.
If I go and I burn the wood, I can make the wood. That'll give me charcoal.
Yeah, you'll get charcoal out of the old burnt wood. And then
but you also said it's not really good.
It's not really cost effective in terms of resources. Like it's actually it's better to just find coal than it is to.
Well, we've never struggled to find coal like this before. Oh, it's so depressing. I don't have all my the armor I had. Remember we had a grisly death back a few Let's Plays ago.
It got ugly.
Still trying to catch
it's really dark down here. Okay.
I was hoping there'd be coal right here.
Yeah, there's really nothing.
It seemed like somebody would give me a freaking rake here.
This cave's not that good.
Yeah, that's how all caves start, though.
Yeah. But you never know. That's the thing. Like, I wish we had like it'd be cool if we had a metal detector.
Coal detector.
Do they have coal detectors in this game?
I imagine.
I can't believe they wouldn't have that. That would be like if I worked at Minecraft, I would come in and be like, "Hey, look, have a metal detector," and they'd be like, "Okay."
Oh my God, he's reinvented the game.
Yeah, because then like you're walking around, it's like doo, doo, and you find gold. You know what's weird?
Plenty of iron in this cave so far.
Remember when you were a kid and there was like. It happened very distinctly, but you went from thinking metal detectors were the coolest thing in the world to thinking metal detectors were the saddest thing in the world.
Yeah, I totally understand 100% what you're saying. The other day I was, not like super recent, but in the past 6 months I saw some dude. We were driving somewhere and this guy was out his front lawn with a metal detector. I was like, what the hell?
His front lawn? That's where I don't get it.
Going around like the base of a tree. Like maybe his wife lost her ring or something. I get that.
Oh, that makes sense.
But it was just like, what?
Oh, yeah, I mean, if
you're a kid, remember, you see the commercials, you're like, oh, man.
If my fiance lost her ring, you best believe I would have a metal detector and I would be out by the tree and all the other things. But I don't really have a tree or a front lawn, so I would be in a world of hell. But I don't know, I remember, like, you're a kid and you see it in, like, remember you would read, like, comic books and there would be those...
That back of the comic had all the awesome ads. And, like,
yeah.
You send away for.
Well, there was always, like... So there was the stuff you could just straight up buy, but then there was that like Olympus Sales Club or something like that, which is like
your UPCs.
And but they had this thing that if they were like, oh, sell 200 points and you can get like an NES and Rob the Robot. Right. I was like, oh man, that's so cool, and I signed up for it once, thinking like, man, I wonder what I'm gonna sell. Probably like this is gonna be so cool. I'm gonna get all these free toys, and it was like. They sent me a whole binder full of greeting cards, and I was like, "This is not good. This is not what I want. This is the opposite of staying home and playing video games. Is going door to door and selling Christmas cards in the middle of the summer." And then I went and read it, and they're like, it doesn't have to be just Christmas cards. You can send, cards for any occasion. Yeah. And I'm like, so I'm going door to door, and I'm like, hey, maybe these people want to buy, these cards that say Happy Summer. Nobody wants to buy cards that say Happy Summer. So what happened was my mom felt bad, and she brought the binder to all of our relatives, and all of them just gave me.
Hey, Brian got taken for all his money.
He got robbed.
Rob robot.
So all of them were like.
I don't know why your mom's like mentally challenged in my head. I'm sorry.
All of them were.
Yeah.
Hey, look. He just wants a robot toy. You plug in the game, and nobody wants to actually buy the cards with the sun on it that says Happy Summer. So all of them were like, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. We don't need cards that say Happy Summer, but your son looks sad.
Yeah.
So here, take some money.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, cool. Here, give me your address, and I'll send you the cards. Like, we don't want those cards. If they do mail them to you, which they shouldn't, because you don't need to do that. You keep those cards. And I was like, okay. And my mom was like, here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna take that money, and you're gonna go to the store, and we're gonna buy your robot.
Yeah.
And you're never going to send this money to those people because nobody wants the cards. And I was like, I don't understand. This is like their whole business infrastructure is going to fall apart here.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, let's just pretend it doesn't exist. And you look at those pictures in the back of that book, and you decide what you want. And then you go out and you do chores and you do jobs and you get money and you go to the store and you get them. And you never have to sell summer cards. I was like, that sounds amazing.
That sounds like a really good deal, Mom.
And she was like, you know what else this is like? And I was like, what? She's like working a real man's job.
It's time
So then I learned the power of money.
Yeah.
It was a good trick.
See, now the people I always respected were the families and the moms who had it together, where they bought cards and just had cards at their house.
Oh, all the time,
so it's
right?
like, oh, it's somebody's birthday. Oh, I got that, and they had like a card file and stuff. Like,
dude, it blows my mind because that's what my fiance does. She actually has like, and it doesn't take over the whole house because we have a just an apartment.
Yeah.
But she always does this thing, and it's kind of bad because we get stuck. I feel like it's you can sort of get stuck in this perpetual cycle of it, where like my mom gave her something for her birthday.
Right.
So my fiance was like, I'm gonna write a card to your mom to say thanks.
Yeah.
So she wrote a card to my mom to say thanks, and my mom got the card in the mail, and she called us up, and she said, can you put her on the phone? I just wanted to say thanks for the card. And I'm like, now we are in like a never-ending loop.
Oh my God, thank you so much for calling me.
Yeah,
I'll send you another card saying thank you.
Exactly. There's nothing down in this damn cave.
But I'm making it look cool.
It does look cool.
We're striking out and finding coal, which is all I wanted from the cave. But it does look pretty cool that we built the ladder. We're at a landing. There's not like our usual janky staircase to nothing.
Yep.
I can drill down the ground if you want me to see what we come up with.
Sure. So my grandfather used to do something awesome. When it was time for my birthday, he would give me a present.
Yeah.
And then $1. And he would be like, if you want a card, go buy a card.
That's awesome. That's really cool, yeah.
But he was like, knowing you're going to go buy Snickers.
Oh. You're like, I have a glandular problem.
No, I was a very skinny kid. Were you a big kid?
I've always been roughly the same size.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Were you like super tall and?
No, I'm sorry. Let me correct that. I've always been proportionate to what I am now. So just imagine a smaller Greg look just like this proportion.
So you're always like a big bone man.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was fat. I'm fat.
Fat. You're always a fat guy.
Fat.
Were you a fat kid?
Fatty, fatty, fat. Like if you, I say I'm fat now, and people are always like, you're not fat. Whatever you consider my current body type to be is what I was as a kid.
Okay.
Before I got taller, the proportion might have been a bit more out of whack.
No, you're not fat now.
I'm fat.
No, you're slimmer.
Slimmer than what?
Than fat. You used to be fat.
I
think both of us.
I don't think I've changed.
Both of us used to be a lot fatter.
Definitely lost a lot of weight.
I lost some weight, but
Greg Miller has not lost enough to be like, oh, I'm not fat.
Well, you lost enough to be like, I'm less fat. Did you play sports when you were a kid?
Oh, God, no. Jesus.
No?
My mom used to threaten me.
Yeah, it's really, I don't even know where I would be today.
Yeah, right? I suffer from the same thing I have now, which I talk about all the time with like multiplayer games and why I don't usually play competitive stuff.
Yeah.
I don't have that much testosterone. I don't think. Like I just don't get wound up about it. And so when you put me around people who are wound up about it, I immediately turn off. And I'm like, nope, don't want to do this.
Me too.
See you later.
Me too.
That's how gym class was, and they put you like, all right, we're gonna play this flag football game. People are yelling. I dropped the ball or whatever. It's like, all right, cool. This is stupid. This is gym.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Sorry.
It's pizza day. I have a pizza Lunchable. I don't care about this.
Exactly. I got a meat tube. But yeah, I was the same way. I never really got into it. And my parents, they were always like, my mom's Italian, so she was like, you got to go out and play soccer. and she made me play soccer from like first grade until 8th grade. And then after 8th grade, you go to high school. I don't know how you guys had it. We had like 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade was high school. We didn't have one of those like weird ones.
No, we were the exact same way. I mean, I went private school the whole way, so I literally went kindergarten through 8th grade at one school.
Yeah.
And then I went to high school.
Okay, got it.
And then I went to college.
So they did this thing to us where they're like, all right, if you want to play soccer in high school or any sports really, now's when it gets serious.
Yeah.
And now you have to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning to jog with the team, and then you have 2 hours of practice after school. And I was like, nope,
no thanks.
That's it. Like,
that sounds like a nightmare.
Also, this is kind of scary.
I know. We're going to have to screw some people up here.
Okay.
Skeleton Man's going down. Oh, so one of the trophies we need to do is kill that guy with a bow and arrow from 50 yards away.
Yep.
Or meters.
We
discovered that meters are in fact the blocks. Like
our
block is 1
yeah.
meter. The way the internet, or at least one of the fans was telling me via Twitter, Greggy, is that we need to find one of them, box them in with dirt or whatever, box them in again, build a house around them with 1 block missing. So there's just 1 block in, and then we back up, and then we just shoot through that 1 hole.
Dude, I love that. Let's do that.
Crazy.
Let's do that right now.
Well, remember, we don't have any of the good stuff. We're gonna run back to the house. We can go back to the Sky Fortress.
Okay. We don't have any bows and arrows, right?
I think we might at the Sky Fortress.
Okay.
And if not, we have tons of stuff at the Sky Fortress. Sky Fortress is what I'm calling now.
I like that. Yeah, I didn't know that about you about sports. I'm very much the same way. I don't really like once it becomes this whole thing where like you let down the team and people are screaming and yelling. And I'm like,
That's why I play single player games. I feel like.
Yeah,
right?
me
It's
too.
just like I'm on my own. Whatever happens is my fault, and I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I like that because the only person I can let down is myself. And there's also like the good feeling of accomplishment. But it was weird growing up. I always it's no shock. My preferred thing to do would be stay home and play Nintendo.
Yeah.
Like, I would rather play video games than do almost anything else in the world. And I love going out and exploring and, like, throwing rocks and stuff like that. Oh, really? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Don't look at him. Don't look at him. Why are you looking at him?
I don't look him in the eye. I'll be okay.
You turn.
I got this guy.
Does he disappear in the sun, the Enderman?
I would imagine.
I think something happens if we kill the Enderman.
It's going to be hard to do without looking in the eye.
No, I think... All right, so, wow, there's all sorts of nonsense going on down there. These guys are, like, terraforming the earth over here.
Trying to make it more like their Enderman home.
Yeah.
Hey!
Wow, there it is!
I knew we'd find
finally. There's a hole full of coal, and now we make torches. So yeah, I'd rather play video games than anything else, but video games were very new back then.
Right.
So we didn't even have all, like, are they good, are they bad? I don't know. Let's find out. Are you out of space? Are you out of space?
I got a bunch of garbage.
Yeah, eat some meat. Throw away some trash.
Yeah. Oh, hey, you want 47 blocks of dirt? Nope. I don't want 37 blocks of dirt.
Nobody wants that.
Can I just drop it?
No, you gotta throw it.
What? Oh, okay, there.
If you throw it on top of the coal, okay. Yeah,
Anyways.
you good. So, my dad was always like, I'd rather you be reading books. And I was like, I understand, reading books are good. He's like, you're not getting anything from these games. And I was like, no, you don't understand that. Like, I could go to school and have a horrible day at school, and it's like, I screwed up the tests, somebody made fun of me, or like I got paint on my pants and everybody said it was poop, or whatever it was. All sorts of bad stuff happens to you when you're a kid. That's a rough day.
Yeah.
But I could come home and I could beat, like, DuckTales in, like, an hour. And I could know that I would get to the feeling of accomplishment of, like, being able to start and finish this thing. And he didn't really understand it. That, like, to me, like, video games were kind of like books, but you could control them.
Yeah.
And nobody understood that back then. They were like, oh, Nintendo-itis, your thumbs hurt after you played them for too long.
Right.
So, I don't know. For all the junk hours I had to spend in dumb Umbro shorts in the stupid cold playing idiot soccer, I could have just been playing video games. And, like, maybe I would, like, run IGN right now instead of, like, being pretty up there.
Instead of being rather successful at IGN, I could be even more successful at IGN.
Yep.
And I hear you on that. That was, I mean, like, people always did that. That was, when I got I remember I got the Master System, like I always tell the story, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when I moved up to get the Genesis, I got the Genesis on the whole thing of like, don't let your grades slip or anything. And they didn't. They didn't slip, you know what I mean? So it was like, all right, we're good. But, I have charcoal. Why are you telling me that? What's that giant 7 right there? Oh, I'd coal. Sorry. I take it back, game. You're right. I'm wrong.
Sweet torches.
I'm going to go. We're still trying to make it. We got more charcoal. Let's go back to Sky Headquarters. But yeah, that was always the concern of like, oh, no, you should go out and play video. You should go out and play sports, or you should be active. And see, the thing about my parents is they didn't have a leg to stand on in the argument because they didn't like sports either. Like they didn't like football. They didn't watch it. They didn't watch baseball. They didn't, you know, I mean, I had
really?
I had no upbringing involving sports until I had friends who like sports, and so I was a late bloomer to all of it. So it was like one of those things where like, you should go. Your friends, they all do cross country and track. You should do that. I'm like, you want me to just go run through the woods? No, that's stupid. You know what I mean? But it was always the threat, right, of something of like, if I was being inactive and they thought I was being too inactive.
Yeah.
You know what? If Mike Boylan can run track with his asthma, you're gonna run. And I was like, no. I know it's one of those things. You know, it's an empty threat. You know,
yeah,
like,
of course. They're not gonna do anything.
You're not gonna make me go anywhere and do anything. Mom and Dad, you don't own me.
I know what that's like because my dad. My mom was terrible at sports. She was not athletic at all. She was very short and very skinny. She's a tiny little Italian woman. And my dad was like a big guy from New Jersey, and he played every sport in college, but he went to Columbia University, which is an Ivy League school, which is not known for sports.
Right.
So he played all the sports, but he played them terribly.
Gotcha.
So like he would be on the baseball team. I think he played football for a little bit. He was definitely on the hockey team, and he would just be like a big bruiser guy. And he mostly did it so he could get with his friends afterwards and drink beers and eat sausages and stuff like that. Because that's the other thing about sports. Sports is a really good excuse to get drunk and eat sausages.
Yeah.
Like it's harder to do that when you're, you know, oh man, that was a good video game.
Yeah.
Let's get drunk and eat sausages.
It's a social thing. You can go out and be with your friend.
Yeah.
You can do it. It's before, you know, when multiplayer wasn't really a thing or whatever. Right?
Exactly.
You can go out and do things.
And I think that was what my parents got confused was they were like, they thought that me playing video games meant that I wasn't being social, and that me not playing me playing sports meant that I was. What they didn't understand was I would go home and play video games, and I would go into work or school the next day and talk to everybody about video games.
Yeah.
Me and like 10 of my friends, we had like this thing called like the Super Power Club that was kind of like a rip-off of Nintendo Power, where we drew our own maps based on memory of like Mario games we wish we had. And we wrote cheat codes and tips. Like I basically was the editor-in-chief of a fake magazine, and I drew it myself, and I would sneak off to the copy machine, and I would print up copies for everybody. I used to take a tape recorder and hold it up to the TV during the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, and then we'd bring it into school, and we'd read our fake magazine, and we would talk about video game cheat codes, and then we would listen to a recording of the Super Mario Super Show. And that was being social. And obviously, all of that stuff, incredibly stupid.
Yeah.
But it was great. But it was great. And my mom, like, she didn't understand. She was like, no, you got to play soccer, because in soccer, I can see you on the field with 10 other people socializing. But she didn't know that I went to school, and I'd be like, oh, if you get the blue torch in Legend of Zelda, you get the new flute, and you can get to a different level.
You were really, your voice got deeper when you were
It was really deep.
Yeah,
very deep.
You've gone the opposite direction than most people.
But that, like, video games also taught me about, video games were the first time I ever learned about liars. Because that's when...
Oh, like, people are like, oh, man, I beat this game in one sitting.
Yep, and they would say, like, oh, you know, if you play Final Fantasy II and you go into the inn with Cecil and you go through the back door, you get a frog costume, and the bartender comes out and she's naked and she does a dance. And I was like, oh, man, and I tried it for like 4 hours.
Right.
Because you do anything to see boobies when you're 5.
Of course.
Or whatever it was.
I don't know what the hubbub's about.
Exactly. But he was a liar. And then the other kids were always like, oh, my uncle works at Nintendo. Oh, I bet you don't even know this, but Super Mario Bros. 5 is coming out in Japan, and it's got Kirby and Sonic the Hedgehog and all that stuff like that. All these liars. And then they made Smash Brothers, and all their lies came true, and they did put all these things in one game.
He's like, see, I told you.
Yeah.
You get these emails from him, I told you this was going to happen, Brian. You didn't believe me.
But that's when I knew, man. I mean, it was like the metal detector dudes. I knew they were sad as hell one day. And there was also the kids in school that lied about their uncles. I knew they were sad as hell. And then there were the kids who came in with bags of candy, and they're like, oh, I'll give you candy, be my friend. I'll be like, I'll be your friend to the end of this candy.
There's friends who brought in candy?
You didn't have anything like that in your school? Well, you went to private school.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was fun.
Really?
Yeah.
Same thing, same as regular school, but no girls, right?
No, there's girls there. I wasn't in like a boarding school.
Oh, you went to private school with girls?
Yeah. We just wore uniforms all the time.
Interesting. That was interesting because then, like, you couldn't really tell who was a disaster and who wasn't, right? Or could you?
In what way do we mean disaster?
All right, so like,
let's clarify that part for me, and I will give you the rundown.
Like in every elementary school, there's some kid that everybody else calls like bar for puke or something.
Oh no, we totally
booger.
There's people you hate and don't like, and that are totally socially inept. And you're like,
but even if they're all wearing the same clothes and not wearing like some free shirt that their poor mom got from Kmart.
Sure. Well, okay. Well, like dialing it back a step, with all due respect, not to sound too privileged, you weren't to go to private school. Pretty much meant your parents weren't gonna be dead broke.
Okay, because we had this thing called Space Week.
Okay.
Back in elementary school.
Sure.
Where it was actually kind of cool. It was just basically they shut down the whole school and everything you did was about space.
That's cool.
It's wild. I can't even imagine them doing that anywhere now. Like I wish we had it at work where it was just like, oh, for a whole week we're gonna go in a planetarium and they're gonna turn somebody's car into a shuttle, which it wasn't really very effective. But it was all about you leave your beliefs at the door and you go, oh, that's a space shuttle.
Sure.
So everybody got a spacesuit, but there was this one kid in my elementary school who was like,
oh, I don't like where the story's going.
No, he was like as tall as you are now compared to the rest of us.
Oh, so comparably.
So we're all like 3.5 feet tall, and this kid was like 5.5 feet tall and big, not fat, but just like large.
Yeah.
And they're like, sorry, we don't have spacesuits for you.
Oh,
so they had to make this spacesuit for him, and he just looked like something looked off, right? And they put these fake patches on it and everything. Like it looked like it was made of tinfoil, and everybody else got cool spacesuits.
Oh, that sucks.
And he was like, he was a little slow. He just had like some learning disabilities. Yeah. Nothing like that was made it so that they had to put him in a separate school or anything like that. Like he was integrated in all the classes, but everybody just knew starting then that he was kind of different, and it was because he had a different spacesuit. And I know this sounds like the plot to a children's book.
Yeah, it sounds like he murders everybody.
No, he doesn't. He was a nice guy. He actually went on to become an actor. I don't know what movies he's in now. They're probably not about space.
He's a murderer.
Yeah, he's a murderer.
Figured it all out. And figured out how to channel his real-life rage into that.
But that's how I knew, like, even when everybody has to wear the same thing, you can find ways to be different.
Sure. Well, I mean, that's the same thing with uniforms. People paint their nails, or have different things with their hair, yada, yada, yada. Mm-hmm. And the school tries to crack down on that, of course, because private schools are BS. And then you get rebellious kids who hate their school.
Did they get mad when one kid was like, I'm going to roll my left sock down? Like, you can't do that. Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That kind of stuff happened all the time. There was no, it was stupid. I hated it. I didn't like school at all.
Yeah.
But for a number of reasons. But the uniform was never the problem. I had friends who come home first thing, they tore the uniform off, they were into whatever. I'd come home and play games or draw comics.
That's because you were lazy.
Well, kind of too. But I just wear that thing until I went to bed. I didn't care.
Really?
Yeah. And I remember some friends who also went to private school thought that was the craziest thing. That I didn't like come home and like you tear it off and be all crazy and like, whatever. Mm-hmm. It's close.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Comfortable enough.
I mean, it was weird because I didn't have it much better because my mom used to dress me until I was in like 3rd or 4th grade. Yeah. But in 4th grade, I was like, Mom, this is the year I'm gonna dress myself. And she was like, are you sure? Do you really think you're ready? And you were in a uniform, you probably look great. You didn't have anything to worry about. Like, there's no decisions to make when you wake up.
Yeah.
And then it's finally, you're like, I'm going to dress myself, and it's a disaster. Which I'm sure happened to you when you finally got the uniform off.
I was going to say, I want to put a pin in this and pick it up for tomorrow's commentary, because I did not set a timer as always. I'm sure we've gone for like 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, every day we put up a commentary while we play Minecraft. Right now I'm preparing to go out and do the thing. I have 2 arrows, though. I wish I had more. But I need to kill 1 million chickens to get good decent arrows.
Wait, you only have 2 arrows. How are we supposed to kill a guy from 50 yards if we only have 2 arrows?
We hit him once, then we put him in the thing, and then I walk back and shoot him.
Oh.
If I hit him both times, it should be alright.
The game recognizes that. Can we weaken him with a...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I hit him once or twice with the sword.
Oh, then I back
got
off it. All right, perfect.
All right, cool. Every day, Brian and I do 15 minutes of Minecraft for your amusement. We'll live at 10:30. If you want to watch them without the other IGN stuff, you can go to youtube.com/MinecraftIGN. Otherwise, just look for them on IGN and youtube.com/IGN. Right? That's how that works.
That's right.
Whatever.
We're off to hunt some skeletons.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell a story about dressing myself. Beyond.